What's up, people? My name's Dino,
I'm Anthony Johnson.
and we are here with Double Down. And that's exactly what this show is going to be called. Why? Because we're doubling down on ourselves. And honestly, we're going to be doubling down on our guests. We're always putting our money on our people, and that's what we're here to do today, right?
Right.
Alrighty, so as he said, this
I mean, that was the name?
Double Down. You see, I just got him excited already. That being said, he did say his last name, Anthony Johnson. My name is Dino Gonzalez, but I am a junior, ready to reset the name. And that's exactly what a lot of these conversations are going to be taking us, whether it's going to be today between the two of us to help you guys get to meet us, or in the future when we're talking with other people, other dreamers, and people that are trying to achieve something that we've been told multiple times that we can't. Right?
That is correct.
Alrighty.
Totally agree on that one.
And I know what you're thinking. Who the hell are these guys to tell us anything on dreaming, achieving? Well, we kind of been through a lot and had a lot of obstacles thrown in our way. And that's what gives us that right, or at least makes us feel like we have the right to speak on something, because we've been through it enough, right?
Yep, sir.
So that's the introduction for what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be talking about. Anthony, you want to tell these people a little bit about yourself and what we're doing here?
Oh, man, man, don't think like that.
I got to do you.
Damn, I didn't even think like that. You should go first, man.
You want me to go first? I'll go first. All right, so as I was saying, my name is Dino Gonzalez, and as far as the things that I've been through, it's kind of been a lot, if we're being honest. And I've had a lot of obstacles thrown in my way, especially in this last year and a half, 2 years, because recently I decided I was going to take that step and become an actor. And first of all, when you tell people you're going to become an actor, you tell people you're going to start doing videos like this, they look at you funny. They really do. But who didn't? My brother right here, because he already knows we're allowed to dream. We're allowed to achieve anything that we want to. And we've already gotten told no way too many gosh darn times. I'm going to try to watch my mouth. Said so. We're going to go ahead and try to get us a few yeses for the rest of our lives. That being said, like I got people that have honestly looked down on me since telling people I'm going to become an actor, because one, they just don't think I can do it, or two, you are going to run into haters essentially throughout your life. Negative, and they're not going to be mad and say you can't do it because you can't. They're going to say that you can't do it because they've never tried. And people who haven't tried are going to be the first ones to tell you that you can't, which is kind of ironic, don't you think?
Yeah, let our haters be our motivators.
That's exactly what we're here to do today. That being said, in this last year, I've actually became, the actor that I'm trying to, as well as an operations manager at my hotel. I love my job. I love the people that I work with. But it has been absolutely tying me down and stopping me from going after what I want, because I'm trying to meet needs at my office. Again, I'm not saying anything bad about the place. I love it there. But it isn't what I'm in love with. What I'm in love with at this point is success and acting. I've been on the sets a couple of times now. Just literally a few, actually, if we're being honest. 3. But 3 of those were all in my first year of acting. That's all I am into it. I ended up on HBO Max / Adult Swim on a TV show called Three Busy Debras. That show right there actually just got canceled after season 2. I saw that posted recently by the Sandys that run their Instagram accounts as well. But it was a great pleasure for me to get that experience working for my very first time on a set. From there, I've actually landed 2 more. Those jobs were, one, believe it or not, a Bill Gates commercial. I'll probably stitch that in just slightly for you guys so you guys can check it out. You're going to see me for 0.2 seconds, but look at these eyes. That's what you're going to see. You're going to know that it was me. I promise you. And last but not least is actually a commercial that I did out of Oregon. That commercial there out of Oregon was the alcoholic awareness commercial, which is essentially a campaign that they're releasing called Rethink the Drink. And I respect that, because believe it or not, I'm actually struggling with my sobriety right now as well. That's one of those things that I'm sure we will talk about openly with you guys. I'm not so much a heavy drinker, but that is something that has affected a lot of my family. I do smoke a lot of marijuana, and that's something that I'm trying to cut down. Look at my boy, he knows I do. And I mean way too gosh darn much. But hey, we got to make some changes. That's what we're going to do. And if you guys can help motivate me to continue succeeding and achieving that lack thereof smoking, I'll appreciate you guys. And And I'm going to try to make you guys appreciate me by giving you guys some content to look forward to. That being said, that's just my last year. So that way I can kind of get the ball rolling with my co-host here. He is going to be on this every episode that he can here with me when we're doing interviews for other people. And other times where, who knows, maybe we don't got nobody to interview, but we're going to sit down and talk and maybe even find a way to go live with you people in case you guys ever want to hop on here with us, ask questions. This will be getting converted into a TikTok account eventually as well. So that way, hey, we go live on TikTok. You guys come talk with us. We'll love it, right?
Talk about everything. Sports, life, anything you could think of.
Sports in general,
Doubling
too.
down.
Boxing's on tonight. My boy Andrew Ruiz, I'm hoping he puts the pause on Ortiz. But you know what? Ortiz is a powerful man. We're going to see some struggle today. That's without a doubt. Right?
Correct. Isn't there other fights, too? Any other main fights?
Yeah, that's the other main fights. I'm not even going to lie. I haven't kept up with them as much. I know I want my boy. I know I want Ruiz. Why? Because he went ahead and he already knocked out Joshua, dropped Joshua. Of course, that rematch didn't go the way that we would have liked. But there's a reason why Joshua didn't do a third fight with him. Because he knew he got lucky with that sticking move. Not lucky. That was skillful. Joshua was skillful.
That was a boxing
He was
move.
boxing so perfectly. He worked that jab, and most importantly, he worked the ring. And that's what is going to help boxers win.
His length.
Absolutely.
If you jab and keep them away, what can you do?
That's true.
You can't get two in.
Yep. He said all you got to do is that 1-2 and back out. 1-2, back out. And that's what he was doing. He scored those points. Respect for the art of boxing that he performed there. The art of fighting wasn't quite what I would have liked. I'm going to be honest on that one. But, we're going to see where, Joshua's... We're going to see where Joshua's future takes him. I'm not going to say that he's not going to have more opportunities to continue to do great things. But we're going to see where it goes. And on top of that, Usyk, we know you're ducking my boy Tyson Fury. Fury will take that fight anytime, any day, and Fury knocked that ass out. I promise you. Don't believe me? Ask my boy Deontay Wilder. Yeah, I had to go there.
Yeah, you had to do him like that. Huh?
I had to do him.
You had to do him like that.
Just had to.
Why you got to go for him like that? Because he's the last one he knocked out.
Yeah, because let's face it, he was the last one that he knocked out, and in the last 10 years, I personally can't think of a better, stack of fights. They went 1, 2, and 3 fights against each other. Those were iconic fights.
And they all went into the rounds.
Yeah, they went into them.
No
they
early
fought
knockouts. No.
But they were big ones when there was.
Bigs.
And that's what obviously is going to get any of us excited. That being said, of course, like I said, we're going to go ahead and continue talking sports. That's always going to be something that we talk about here with us, especially with my boy, because he's my sports man. I'm the boxing guy. That's what I'll talk about with you guys all day, any day. He'll talk your ass off about any sport and the best teams. Let's just be real.
Okay. Well, football and basketball. Some MLB.
Some MLB. That's what I was going to say. And you know what? Give me some time. I'm starting to follow hockey. So only because I like playing NHL 22.
Hey, you missing out.
What?
That's been my thing lately.
Hockey?
Yep.
See? So now you know we will be talking more on hockey. But other than that, like I said, I let you guys know what I've been up to this last year. What kind of current obstacles as well as, I guess, personal feelings that I am having for where I am in my life right now. I would love for Anthony to take this opportunity to do the same thing, let you guys know a little bit about what's going on, where his football career took him throughout his life. And last we spoke about the football career, I believe you said that you had a couple more years on you for the Riverhawks, was it?
No. The Tri-Cities Elite.
Tri-Cities Elite, and that's a semi-pro team?
Yep.
Semi-pro.
Tri-City.
So tell the people all about it.
Oh, so name's Anthony Johnson. Grew up here in Moses Lake. My brother. Been my ride and die from day one.
Absolutely.
He was the one who pushed me mostly, when I'd be getting down on myself. I know I would have him, my mom's, all my other friends that I had, but mostly right here, just my guy.
We didn't consider each other friends throughout most of our lives. We honestly considered each other brothers.
Brothers.
Him and his mom literally helped put a roof over my head when my folks moved down to Texas, and I said I just wasn't about it. His mom is one of the most beautiful people as well as souls that I have ever met. And that's just speaking facts.
Hey, don't be lying now just because this is going to be on YouTube. But currently, like right now, I'm just trying to build my family, my lovely wife Janessa, my kids. Just try to make our home bigger. We have something going on, but currently can't speak about that right now at the time.
And that is a big thing. That is actually a huge thing that's going on right now. And I can't promise that he'll be able to talk about it in the near future, but if the time comes, when it comes,
when we
we'll be right here to share it with you.
We'll be sharing it the day we find out. We'll be here doing it.
There we go.
Other than that, just I'm still learning, trying to how to be a better father for my kids. Simple dad duties, and working to got to work to provide. If you don't work, can't pay bills. Wouldn't be able to do this with my brother.
Really? Wouldn't have my apartment right now behind us to even do this in. There was times, people. There was times I was sleeping in slides at parks. Why not the bench? Because the bench was a little too hard and didn't have a roof. I'm not even lying to you people. So when I tell you we've been through it, I've been homeless. I've been down and out. If I'm being completely honest, I did have a little bit of a drug problem at one time or another. Not as heavy as some of the people that we grew up with. And that's one of the most unfortunate parts about growing up in this town that we grew up in. Here in Moses Lake, it was so easy for our peers to give in to peer pressure and the temptations of alcoholism and drug abuse. Our city itself has 35,000 people. If you go outside of city limits, about 35 to 40.
City limits.
Yeah, so we got a fairly small city. We did run out of things to do at one point. I'm happy to say that my best friend and brother right here, easily out of our close friend group, he stayed the strongest out of all of us. And he always had our backs no matter how bad me or any of our other boys fucked up. That's facts. That's why he's here with me today. That's why we're doing this for you. I'm not some guy who's had, privileges my whole life, nor is my brother. Said if we had privileges, we'd be the wrong guys to talk to you about coming up and dreams and aspirations. So, sorry, I know you guys probably just heard my crumpling of my water. But I am going to keep on drinking throughout this thing because, like I said, I'm struggling with my own sobriety. I truly am. I'm gonna start trying to drink more water instead of the alcohol. I'm gonna start breathing in fresh air instead of marijuana smoke because it's not getting me anywhere. If I want to be a successful actor, and I'm gonna be honest, if any of you guys want to be successful in your futures, that drug abuse, that alcohol abuse, it's not gonna take you anywhere. I have way too many friends and family members that can vouch for that. And I can vouch for that because until I told myself I got to stop smoking weed, until I told myself, and I grabbed all of my bottles out of my freaking top of my fridge and drained them down the sink. I had a full bottle of Seagram 7, a couple other bottles in there. I drained them. I called my brother to see if he wanted them. He was at work. He told me he'll come pick them up afterwards. I said, you know what? I'm struggling. I need to get rid of them. I can't wait till later. What'd you tell me?
Hey, I completely understand. Hey.
Yeah. And you told me, fucking dump them, right?
Dump them out. Hey, if that's what makes you the better man that you want to go towards the future, dump them down the drain.
Yep, and that's where I'm at now. Alcohol I haven't touched. It's only been about a week and a half maybe since I've made that decision. I'm feeling better. I do look at, the bars as I pass by. I do want to stop. Or even the gas station on my way home, the Walmart's here. I'm not sure if you guys' cities sell or states sell liquor at your local supermarkets or at your gas stations. We can go buy a bottle of liquor at a gas station, like straight up tequilas and whiskeys. Like it became too easy, and now I'm definitely I respect my agents as well as the team that I work with out of Oregon, Portland to be exact, for that alcohol awareness campaign because it made me, again, it was one of those things. That was 7 months ago. I shot that commercial 7 months ago. When I got the news about that commercial that I booked it, I went out and had a drink to celebrate. That doesn't even make sense. I landed a role for alcohol awareness and to rethink the drink. I didn't rethink one thing when I got that news. I said, this is my celebration. And that is poor celebration. It really is. It is nice to take a moment to yourself and bask in your own success.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But it is something wrong when you're gonna bask in your success with those same substances that enable you to, at least for me, be a loser. And I don't want that. I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for my brother. We've never wanted it for each other. And I don't know you yet, but I don't want it for you. I really don't. So, when it came down to it, I can tell you guys all about the childhood that I came up in and grew up in. I don't necessarily want to do that right away and rip off the Band-Aid on the first day, because I don't, in the long run, want my family to feel like maybe I was attacking or judging them. But no, it's just being honest on the way that we grew up. And I have siblings that can vouch for that, and I have parents who have a hard time coming to terms with that. And that not everything that happened to us as kids was okay. And for any of you guys watching this right now that went through something that was not okay, I hope you are. Genuinely do. I want to motivate you guys to succeed. I want to motivate you guys to let go of your crutch and let go of the past that isn't going to let you move forward. And I held on to that for a long time. Truly long time. And I hope now, with me talking to you guys in almost my own sort of therapy session with my brother and other people that are going to be experiencing these things in the future, or for our future videos, I want to share that experiences with you and grow with you guys. So if you guys will allow us to do that, that's what we're going to be here doing. And we'll be bullshitting about sports. Like we said, we're going to do a lot of things. But my number one thing right now is definitely going to be about motivating you, motivating ourselves, and motivating the people that we work with and collaborate with here in the near future. Because that's what it's all going to come down to. Families, friends. I want you guys to do two things from now on. I want you to be living, and I want you to be loving. Anytime somebody asks me how I'm doing, I try to answer with I'm living and I'm loving. Because if you're doing those two things, what's to stop you from living the life that you want?
Sky's the limit.
You said living isn't existing. Existing isn't living. We're going to go ahead and keep on doing it. Like you said, sky's the limit. And when we hit those walls that stopped our limits, it didn't stop our limits. It put an obstacle. We can go over it. We can go around it, under it,
through it,
straight the fuck through it, like the football player would do. But you can't run from it. You can't hide from it. And what I'm going to ask y'all is don't walk away from it. Because walking away from that is going to walk away from opportunities that's right on the opposite side of that wall.
It's just going to put up a whole nother wall that you didn't want to go through.
Yeah. Said because you left that wall there, so you took a step back.
And another one went up.
And another brick. Just like my boy Will Smith said in his book, it was another brick. Brick by brick, they had to build a wall. Brick by brick, you're going to have to tear down that wall that was put in front of you. Will Smith, I'm going to talk Will Smith. I know my boy was talking Will Smith with me for a second. Everybody was so mad at Will Smith for slapping Chris Rock. There was a few people who weren't. I won't say that I wasn't disappointed by his actions, which honestly probably sounds really hard. It's really hard to hear that you've disappointed somebody, whether it's somebody you love or somebody you don't know. As humans, we don't want to disappoint
someone we looked up to,
and he knew we looked up to him. Me and my brother right here, we could both relate so heavily on Papa's Got a Brand New Excuse when we watched Fresh Prince back in the day. We could relate. That shit brought tears to our eyes. Will Smith is one of those few actors that can bring tears to your eyes in almost any performance that he will give you. And he's amazing for it. He was going through his own mental struggle, not just at that point leading up to it with his wife, but definitely everything that was happening with the backlash from that slap. And
lost movies.
Yeah, whole contracts for those movies. Some of those movies were already in production from what I hear.
They're supposed to come out.
Look at that Bright 2 on Netflix. Netflix had dropped to my boy. But you know what? He took a few months. I can't tell you exactly how long. He cleared his mind, refocused on himself, and I'm seeing him back on social media, and I love seeing him back. I love to see that he's going to take that lesson as growth, as nothing but a lesson to continue forward. Am I right?
He took it like a man.
He really did. And
instead of, some people when they make a mistake, they don't want to man up to it.
Absolutely. And
he saw what he did. He went and got the help that he needed. And now he's making his way back.
He really is. And I don't doubt in the future, very near future, that we're going to start to see him on big projects again. And that he will be on our TV screens at home and the big screen at the theater. Because, I mean, how are you going to stop that light, that bright, for something? And that is a pun because of his movie, by the way. But how are you going to stop that from somebody who wants nothing more than success? Read his book. It tells you right there. It's what he wanted to do. He wanted to succeed. He wanted to make people happy. He wanted to make people laugh. And I thank Will Smith for that from the bottom of my heart, because he brought joy and peace to me in very bad and hard times where I just did not want to be around anymore. I'm going to be honest. And to top that gentleman off, I'm going to talk with one of the most controversial figures in Hollywood. Especially right now, because I know some of you guys have seen the interview. I was telling you about it earlier today. Shia LaBeouf's interview. We've known for years he is not a perfect man.
No.
He's a great performer. That's without a doubt. His demons have been something that weighed him down. His movie Honey Boy resonated with me also very well. And then as I watched this interview, I found out that Honey Boy was essentially fictional. He said that it was based on his life, and that's how his father was to him. And he tells us in the interview that's not how his father was. It's not the home that the type of love that he grew up receiving, and that he had only been spanked once, not a regular form of abuse. That's something that a lot of people, including slightly myself, regardless of how big a fan I am, I'm going to have to reevaluate that. Because as a person who experienced mental and physical abuse growing up, yeah, it is kind of shitty. I thought I was relating to something, and I still am. I still relate to the film. I guess I just don't relate to the man who wrote it as much. But Shia is truly out right now. He's, I guess, almost like a redemption tour is what he's doing. And he's giving interviews telling his sides of the story without ever once trying to clear his name. His side of the story is I was wrong. His side of the story is I fucked up. But his side of the story is not I give up. Right? That kind of goes a long way. Not kind of, it truly does. And that's why one of those things, he's in his interview with John, I could tell you his last name, The Punisher. That's what I'm going to tell you. He was the guy that died on The Walking Dead after sleeping with Rick's wife. He interviewed him. And, even when John had heard some of the things that Shia had done, especially, with the abuse allegations to the women, John did have to, take a step back and reevaluate his friendship with him, but reevaluate almost how you can help his friend, because he wasn't going to turn his back on the guy for a mistake or even a series of mistakes. And that is something that's usually done far too often, is just they see a mistake and they give up, they walk away. And it's not just us after having made the mistake, it's our peers see us make those mistakes and they judge us from that moment on. I have people that I went to high school with, to middle school with. They had a problem with me in middle school or in high school. You know what's something crazy? Some of those fuckers still have a problem. It's been 10 years since high school. It's been 15 since middle school. And some of those people still have a problem.
Grudges for no reason.
Exactly. If I seen them, I'd say hello. I'd ask them if they'd like to break bread. See how their days go. And I know I still get looks. I know they're like, oh, what the fuck, Dino over here talking to me. because I wish you well. I wish everybody I meet well from here on out.
Don't wish no harm, nothing to nobody.
Exactly. And we wish ourselves well. But if we spend so much time wishing on ourselves, we can't wish on those others. And wishing on those others, thinking on others, and being there for others is going to make such a difference in our lives, in your lives. You will instantly see the outcome. I don't have a doubt on it. And I'd love to see the growth, like I said. And, you know, I could get in trouble for talking on this later. If I do, I will. Work related. I even have a coworker of mine, a peer, who does not like me. Don't know why. Don't exactly know what I did to her. That's not my problem that she feels so angry. And I'm starting to try to come to terms with that and realize it's not my job to make her feel better. It's her job.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what I did to the woman. At least if I knew what I did to make her not like me, maybe I could take some corrective action, and I'd be happy to. But I don't. They said, oh, it's a little thing here, little thing there. One of them was 2 months ago, one of them was like a week ago. I can't believe people are still hanging on to things from 2 months ago. I can't be mad at you 5 minutes later. It takes a lot of energy to be negative. It really doesn't take as much to be positive. Unless you work at Dutch Bros and you're like fucking chipper. That's too much. That's too much. Tell me I'm wrong. Dutch Bros. I don't love you. Somebody does. A lot of people do. Just not me.
I like Dutch Bros.
There's your guy.
I never thought of it like that. See?
Those are some chipper people. So that takes a lot of energy. I won't lie. But to be negative, man, you're wasting just as much energy. To walk home and choose to still, or not walk home, drive home, whatever, but choose to still be mad.
Keep that anger.
It overlaps. And you know how I know is because I was actually going through my own drama and disagreements with my own wife. And while going through those, going through those, troubles that I had with her, I was taking that to work. Now my home life was overlapping work, and work was overlapping at home. Because I chose to hang on to that negativity. Since then, I've had a conversation with an uncle of mine. I'm just saying his name, my Uncle Eddie. If you see this, I hope you really do. Thank you. Conversation helped. He is a therapist, of course, so, helps a little bit more. But thank you. Said having this conversation right now with you guys, my boys, thank you. It made me realize my shit at home can be fixed, and my shit at work can be fixed, and what can't be, maybe it's just not meant to be. And I can't tell you exactly who Shia was referencing anymore from the video that I saw, but he told me essentially the video, a tape that he had heard. You haven't seen his interview at all. So in the tape, essentially it was saying there's this man and his son, and they're farmers, and they farm radishes. They give 70% to essentially the man who owns the land that they live on and farm on. And they get to live off of 30%. So it's the man, the kid, a horse, and the hoe to turn the land. Well, one day, the horse runs off, and the son comes to his dad and says to his dad, the horse is gone, and says, without the horse, I can't, turn this land. If I can't turn this land, I can't grow our radishes. We're going to die. And the dad looked at him and says, I can't call it yet. I don't know if it's the worst thing that's ever happened to us. I can't call it yet. I just don't know. So a few days go by. Again, I'm paraphrasing this the reading that he heard. A few days go by, and the horse is now coming back. It's running back, and not only is the horse running back, the horse has 500 other horses stampeding behind him. And the boy sees this, and he grabs the gate, and the horse guides all these other horses into the gate, and he closes the gate, runs to his dad, and says, "Dad, it's a miracle! It's a miracle! We got all these horses. Like, forget the radishes. We're in the horse business now. We trade horses. It's a miracle." And the father, just as blankly as he looked at him the first time, said, I don't know if it's a miracle. I can't call it yet. I just don't know. So a few more days go by, and this boy who has no idea about anything raising or breaking in horses is out there trying to break in these horses and get them essentially ready for a trade and sell. And as he's doing this, the horse kicks him in the leg. Completely shatters his leg, breaks it. And this, from what the thing said, it was in like the 1700s. There was no, modern medicine, no x-rays, no doctor that they even went to. They wrapped it up in some tobacco leaf, put some mint on it, and the boy was sitting there. And now the boy is just as depressed. And he's sad, he's down, and he's telling his dad, like, look, we can't work. So now that we can't work, said, I'm not going to be able to break in these horses. We're going to die out here. And the dad says, I don't know that yet. I just can't quite call it. And a few more days go by, and the son is sitting there in the living room with his dad, and he's in pain. And just at this moment, as the dad is trying to calm down his son, you see a horse, you see 1,000 samurai on horses ride over the hill. And they tell the dad, so we need to take your son, we're going to go and we're going to fight a war, and he has to come with us. And the dad looks down at his son, and he says, well, I can't send him with you. He can't move. He's crippled. His leg is broken. He's no good. And these 1,000 samurais ride off into a battle and into their own death. And at that moment, again, the son said, well, I can't believe I didn't have to go, because my leg was broken. It's a miracle. And the dad says, I just can't call it. I don't know if it's a miracle yet. And that's the end of the story on where he was getting. And what I gathered from that helps resonate with me so well is you can't live in those bad times, just like you can't live in those good times. We don't truly know what it is until it's over. And it's never over till it's over. It's going to be a long life. It's going to be a long uphill battle.
Downhill.
And falling down that hill is going to kick your ass so much worse. We've done it. We've been there. This guy, legit scholarships lined up and everything for fucking football when he was getting out of high school. And knee injury did definitely hinder that. And it's something that honestly did weigh him down for many years, if we're being honest. Am I right?
Yeah, but then it was when I got hurt, I kind of lost the motivation. I lost the drive behind it that was pushing me all these years to get me where I wanted to be at. When the moment I went that depression, I went down the hill. I gave up. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I just wanted to just chill in my room. And
Pitch black.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I was talking about the room, not your skin.
We just sat there and, just thinking like, okay, well, what can I do now? Since the whole thing that pushed me since I was first time I ever played the game of football, what was my drive, my passion. I felt like I lost it all in smoke within seconds.
Yep. And it sucked. It sucked. My best friend, my brother, was in the hospital at one point with his knee. And how long were you in there?
Just a day.
Just a day. I wanted to say it was like 2 or 3 days.
I had surgery done.
And then was in and out.
Went home. You came and saw me as I was leaving the hospital, and you always stopped by, saw what I was doing, but I didn't feel I could be that same guy that I put all these years of doing this.
You didn't know if you could perform
if I could perform the same. I was always afraid. I was timid. I didn't want to push myself because what if I push myself and I hurt myself again?
Yeah.
Then I'm going down that road again. And I didn't want to do all that. So it took me until at least I was almost in my 20s to actually retry. And then I had a buddy that played for the team here locally in Moses Lake, and he's like, "Hey, we need a guy. You want to see what you could do?" I went out there, played, realized, okay, I can still do it. Maybe I just can't do it as I did it before, but I could still perform. I could still play. I still had the love for the passion, and slowly it brought me back into it.
Absolutely, and just another example of losing that motivation for him. As much as he gives me credit for being there, as we have grown up and we talked about it more and more. This is the first time I'm even telling him, because this is our open conversation for him and I, as well as with you. I feel bad for the way that I was there. I've always felt bad for the way that I was there. I shouldn't have been saying, let's get high together. Let's smoke weed. We were fucking kids in high school. I shouldn't have been saying, let's drink. And that's what I did. That's what you did sometimes for me. Because we started thinking of this is our coping mechanism. This is what's going to help us get better. It wasn't. It didn't. And it led to years of us struggling before we realized we can still do this. We're going to have to get the fuck back up. The Rock. Look at The Rock. Dwayne Johnson. That guy played college football. He was so, in his mind, positive he was going to go pro. Until that knee injury happened. And he goes, plays Canada ball. That guy pushed himself, worked himself, and said from his dream and aspiration of being in the NFL, when that fell through, you can read about it. I'm sure you can see about it on his TV show. He fell down to his own depression, absolutely. But he reevaluated from the no NFL. He said, you know what, I'm going to play Canadian football until maybe I can get picked up. Once that Canadian team dropped him, he was hurt. He was down and he was out. He was tapping out.
Did you see his interview? He was talking about what he said?
I have not.
So, I guess after he got cut from that team, the coach called him.
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
And the coach called him and told him, said, hey, we would like you to come back. We'll give you that second opportunity.
Practice team,
yeah.
Right?
No, to be back on the team, everything. And he was with his dad, and he's sitting there, and he's thinking about it. His dad's like, so, you going to do it? And he said, no, I'm not going to do it.
And I want to say that was the moment where he, again, like I'm saying, reevaluated. Mm-hmm. And isn't that the moment he decided he was going to do WWE?
Yep.
That's when he decided he was going to wrestle. And I believe I saw that his dad was the one that even trained him. His dad was Rocky Johnson, another famous wrestler. If you guys never watched wrestling in WWE, WCW, any of it growing up, you have a problem. You, not me, not him.
And two, even if you watch, the show, his show that he had about
exactly.
his life.
That's what I was kind of referencing as I was talking as well.
His dad was the one who, he saw his dad as his hero.
Yep.
Nothing that his dad could do or anything would make it him so he'll look different towards his dad.
And that's something I can relate to as well. Even with a dad who wasn't really there for me. He wasn't at all. As a matter of fact, he honestly threw a lot of wrenches in relationships that could have been beautiful without. But as a kid, same as The Rock, my dad could do no wrong. Him not being there was not him doing wrong. Which is really messed up once I got older and I was able to come to terms with that's not how a father was supposed to be. But I do credit him every day because now, as I am older, I could choose to be bitter and mad that he wasn't there. But that's going to take a lot of my energy. Instead, I chose to forgive him and let go of that past. I respect him for being there for me now and trying. He's not going to succeed every time. He's a man with his own demons as well. But he tries, and I respect him for it. And like I said, it just takes way too much energy to be angry.
Be angry about something that you can't change.
Exactly. So, I don't know. That's another piece of advice for you. Don't hang on to something you can't change. Don't hang on to something from the past. Just don't hang on to nothing except for your dreams and your aspirations. Right?
That's 100% correct. Because all you're going to do is going to go down that dark slope again. You're going to hold on to anger that once you just let go, take a minute, breathe, evaluate, you'll see the difference.
Yep, and that's definitely something I'm going to be getting better at. So, for the new people that are going to start to watch us, I hope you see my growth. For the people that have seen my struggle and my stumble, I hope you see our growth. And for anybody who sees this period, we hope we see and hear about yours. Got anything else to say?
No. I know you got something. What are you going to say for the ending?
My ending is please do 2 things. Keep on living and loving, everybody. Love, peace, and chicken grease.